Hello, hello, hello. Be blessed. Hope everybody is good. Whoever watches this video. No, I have nothing to personally gain or lose from making these videos, so I'm just bringing you truth. All right, I call it truth. Hopefully, I sparked some interest in you on something I said, and you're like, "No, hell no, he full of, yup, go." That's what I'm trying to do, so you can investigate, so you can look deeper into what you believe, because my perspective is that nothing is what it seems, period. That's the basic I can say about everything. Nothing is what it seems. But before we start today, I'm going to do Thomas today. We're going to go from the 21 to 41 sayings. But I got a special treat. I'm going to play this song that me and my friend just made today, my brother. Because it's just hot. This is like the stuff I be talking about. I don't know how it's going to sound on the microphone, but let you listen to it for a little bit. Look around at the world today, and hopefully it's not too choppy or nothing. Dealing with the stress of every day, hard working 9 to 5 with no time to play. I look around at the world today. So this is something that I just started. We were making today. Little treat before we go into our little session here. I can only imagine what the world would be if we thought the same way. I can only imagine what the world would be if we saw the same things. That's my boy right there. He just left like an hour ago. And a lot of these songs tell like this is like who I truly am. I don't no holds bar in my songs. Don't let life live you. Living years in a stable environment, always trying to get by on this 9 to 5 2-cent salary. The system's not allowing me to be who I am, do what I can, only enslaving the man chained by the dollar. No free ride to be a scholar, the hungry scream and holler, the homeless are bothered. So God made us straight to solder. Rise together. The Satan's temptation to sever by being clever, but never will the Father allow the evil to hurt you. It's up to you to want to be free. To a place we can all relate. Follow me to a place. It's deep. I can only imagine what the world would be if we thought the same way. I can only imagine what the world would be if we saw the same things. This is my like I'm an amateur though at like putting this stuff together. So if things sound off or something, I'm working on it. I'm watching a lot of tutorials. I'm trying to get it down. I'm trying. Don't let life live you. Live life. Don't let life live you. Live life. Don't let life live you. Live life. Don't let life live you. I look around at the world today and I see so many people lost in misery, dealing with the stress of every day, hard working 9 to 5 with no time to play. I look around at the world today, past few years, so much disarray, make a mess in the term now, run away, sad next in line's gonna be the same way. I can only imagine what the world could be if we thought the same way. I can only imagine what the world would be if we saw the same things. I can only imagine what the world would be. All right, so that was a little. It's my music life. If I can get that to show God's word, boy, listen, I'll do concerts for free. Everything. I'm just spreading the word. All right, so let's get and you know what's crazy with the live life or live life, don't let life live you. If you write it down and spell it backwards, it's gonna say evil life, don't let life evil you. That's deep. That's something that I wrote a long time ago that like messed my head up and started me on this journey, so to speak, or like confirmed this journey. But if you do that with a lot of live Live backwards is evil, and lived with the D past tense is devil. Wow, that's crazy. That's deep. That's how deep it goes. But that's how simple it is too, right? On our perception of living is, right, getting your education and being responsible and setting goals and blah 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 do, right? But what did you live like? It's only you got to die to live or live to die. Right. And that's exactly what, like Jesus said, you got to die to this world. You got to die to yourself. Die to yourself in this world. This world is not who you are, period. Okay. So we're going to go to Thomas. Thomas, number 21. Mary said to Jesus, "Whom are your disciples like?" He said, "They are like servants who are entrusted with a field that is not theirs. When the owners of the field arrive, they will say, 'Let us have our field.' But they are naked in their presence, so as to let them have it, and thus to give them their field. That is why I say, when the master of the house learns that the thief is about to come, he will be on guard before he comes, and will not let him break into his house, his domain, to carry away his possessions. But you, be on guard against the world. Grid your loins and grate your strength. Grid your loins with great strength, so that the robbers will not find a way to get to you. For the necessities for which you wait will be found. There ought to be a wise person among you. When the fruit was ripe, he came quickly with his sickle in his hand. He harvested it. Whoever has ears to hear, he should hear." Right? And that's just, it's almost like Jesus said something to his disciples, and he said, "Hey man, I need you to go out, spread the good, tell everyone the good news to the corners of the earth." Right? Because the good news is the kingdom of God, right? That you are just like in that song I just played. There's a part where I say the Father made us to get that devil for trying to be clever, right? Trying to tempt us and trying to get us into a different frame of mind, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's about your frame of mind. So he's just saying, like, when they come, they're naked. So if you're not, it's almost like Adam and Eve in the garden, right? They were naked, right? First of all, a lot of preachers will preach that God said, "Adam, where are you?" saying like something else, or saying that was God testing Adam, asking him where he was. That Adam already failed the test at this point, right? He already failed the test, and if God knows everything, he's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. There was no test, okay? It was a different God saying, "Adam, where are you? What are you doing over there? Why are you behind the bush? Why you think you're naked?" It was different. Got to look at it differently. You got to just look at the whole situation differently. This is something that somebody wrote down for us to understand what they wanted us to understand. All right, but that truth is within you, inside of you. The kingdom of God is inside of you. The Father is inside of you. The Son is you. Number 22. Jesus saw infants being suckled. He said to his disciples, "These little ones being suckled are like those who enter the kingdom." They said to him, "Then will we enter the kingdom as little ones?" Jesus said to them, "When you make the two into one, and when you make the inside like the outside, and the outside like the inside, and the above like the below, that is to make the male and female into a single one, so that the male will not be male and the female will not be female. And when you make eyes instead of an eye, and a hand instead of a hand, and a foot instead of a foot, an image instead of an image, then you will enter the kingdom of heaven." Right? So right there, that's deep. If you understand what that's saying right there, that's deep. It's pretty much saying our perspective, right? If we put a man here and a woman here, or vice versa, that's not the way. The way is we got to be here. We got to be at that even plateau, right? So it's saying your perception of the world. So if you got to make your eyes instead of an eye, right? If you got to believe in the systems of the world to handle what you need, not what you want, what you need, then that's the problem. Your perception is the problem. Your perception is just like you're perceiving that homeless guy, "Go get a job, man. I ain't giving you shit." That's the perception. Instead of just helping that homeless guy because you may be that guy. There's nothing guaranteed in life, besides just thinking about death and, oh, we might die one day, that's irrelevant to the fact that nothing else is guaranteed. When a job is done with you, they're done with you. It ain't no, like, the respect back in the day. I don't know if the respect is still there, but you're supposed to give your 2 weeks when you're retiring or leaving a job, right? But they give you no respect when they say, nope, you got to go. They don't give you a 2-week pay. They don't give you anything. They just drop you. Boop. You're like, you go to punch in or something and the code is disarmed. You're done, right? But you got to respectfully give them 2 weeks. Who are they looking out for with that rule? Are they looking out for the company or are they looking out for you? Think about it. Because in essence, most things can't run thinking about you, because then that would mean we wouldn't need none of these things. Just like you're the power of the things. We all are the power of anything anybody that's rich, any company that's the top of the top, anything. We're the ones that make them rich. The people, the regular people just walking around like ants marching in this world. We're the ones that keep this power flowing. It's just like the Matrix movie, right? The whole concept of the human being was the source of power for the machines. No matter what, how you look at it, how you try to scrape it away, it's all the same. Just like there's a new movie, Greenland. And I love those movies like Greenland, War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise. Greenland has what's his name? I forgot his name right now. But he's a good actor. He's got a few movies. But it's about a comet coming to Earth, right? And then they had a lottery and selected the people that will survive and be able to get shelter somewhere while everyone else is on their own to survive. This is the world you live in? Is that the world you want to be a part of? Shouldn't it be like, hey, if we all can't make it, then I guess we're all going, right? That's really putting God to the test in essence, or saying, hey, Father, if I'm your son, we have no other option here, but we're going to stand together in this option. You never know what might happen. Look, listen, I'm not saying there's not a church out there that miracles do happen at this moment, right? There's people out there that truly believe. And I believe that there's people out there that heal people, that make things out of nothing. Like, it's all about your perception and what you're looking for. If you're looking for that Hollywood effect, that might not be what you're seeing, right? The miracles are small, but they're great at the same time. That's why Jesus said, whatever you do for the Father, you do in secret. That means when that homeless guy is there, you just hand him the $5 and bounce. That's what it means. You can talk to him, I guess. You can conversate with him if that's what you want to do, but don't get no praise from that man, because then that man's going to start worshiping you, saying, thank you. No, thank the Father. The Father is the only reason this happened. The only reason. Anytime you're showing love, anytime you're showing kindness, the only reason is for that is because there's only one good. When Jesus was approached by a guy and said, good teacher, right? He said, why do you call me good? Don't even put me in that category. The Father is why I'm here. He said that through his whole journey. In the 4 books that talk about him, that, is the public view, so to speak, with the 66 books. And these 4 books that are chosen, those 4 books are telling you exactly that. They're telling you exactly that. Okay. So even with this is a source. The Book of Thomas, if you just caught on or you just watched this, the Book of Thomas is a book they use as a source to confirm the other 4 books. That's why they stress it when I read in the beginning of it, and I stressed the history of it and stuff. This is a source. This is a source that they use to confirm that book, but yet they don't put this in the book. That's crazy, right? And I'm telling you, anything I'm bringing you, if it's weakening your faith, then what is your faith, right? Because this stuff is strengthening my faith. And even when there are books out there that are like, I'm trying to think of one, maybe the Book of Barnabas. The Gospel of Barnabas, the one that was with Paul for a little bit. I think he was like Mark's uncle or something. He has a gospel. There's a gospel written in his name, and it has some crazy stuff in it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it is some like, what? That's crazy. I'll read that. I don't really want to read that because that's crazy. But when you read stuff like that and you see the disturbing parts that you can see, like, that's when you got to discern what is love for all and what is not. What is someone just being selfish about, right? What is their intent? That's why I say the 66 books should be broken down into the lessons the lesson of what that story is trying to tell you. That's what it should, like the book of Genesis should probably be broken down into a couple different books. But when you go to Abraham, right? What was the point of the story of Abraham? Just like, look, Abram, right? That was his name originally. He said, and that meant, what did that mean? It means he's the father or something. Abraham means father of many, right? God told Abraham, you will be the father of many nations. So now what does that tell you about God's chosen people? Or what God chose of people? See, that's how you gotta look at it that way. If God told Abraham, that's the bottom line of the Jewish tradition, correct? So if Abraham is the bottom line of the Jewish tradition, even though Abraham wasn't a Jew, okay, he wasn't even called a Hebrew, even though I think they were from Hebron. But then, right, they went to Jacob, and then they got a new name, Israel. Come on, like, and then they divided there too. So see, that's the problem. Like, I get it. I guess it's like trying to point you to Jesus and the bloodline of Jesus and how Jesus came about. But then what about all those extras? Like, there was Esau and Jacob, two twins that was in the womb, right? What about Ishmael, which was Abraham's first son, Isaac, which was his second son, but first son through Sarah, the other six that he had, right? These are many nations. That's many nations. So how's the world going to be blessed? Through his seed. His seed is every seed, so to speak. It's almost like looking in the Genghis Khan. His DNA is all over everybody over there in wherever the hell they're from. Why can't I think of it now? That's crazy. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Genghis Khan is related to all the people he conquered, right? Because that's how people used to conquer. You conquer, kill the men, get the women, have some kids. It was as simple as that. It's not a difficult thing. All right, so then we'll go to number 23. I will choose you, one from 1,000 and two from 10,000, and they will stand as a single one. What does that mean? That just means like-mindedness. We're all on the same journey. We're all going to the same place. We're all standing up for the same thing, right? Jesus didn't have to die on the cross. Everyone could have stood up at that point. He had so many followers. Everyone could have stood up at that point. Even Pontius Pilate, right? In the story, his wife was trying to warn him about doing stuff. Like, leave that man, or maybe that was just in the movie, but leave him alone. Don't do it, right? Everyone had a chance, right? The Jews took him first and arrested him and brought him to their place, and then they brought him to Rome. Think about that. You gotta keep that in mind. All right. In essence, the Jews didn't like Jesus because what was I watching? And it was I think it was a movie too, because it was a movie like from the 60s or 70s that was on the YouTube thing I was watching, because I was looking at the Leonardo Da Vinci stuff. But the Jewish guy in there, right when Judas was like, I don't want this money, the Jewish guy was like, well, we got to get rid of this guy because he's rebelling against our ways. Why would they say that? Why would they say Jesus was rebelling against the Jewish ways? And it's not only just because they try to say he said he was God. I'm trying to tell you, they know, just like Jesus told them, you have the keys, but yet you don't go in yourself. All right, number 24. His disciples said, show us the place where you are, because it is necessary for us to seek it. He said to them, whoever has ears should hear. Light exists inside a person of light, and he shines on the whole world. If he does not shine, there is darkness. You understand what that said? Right? Let me read it again. His disciples said, show us the place where you are, because it is necessary for us to seek it. Okay, cool. Show me that place. He said to them, whoever has ears should hear. This is where that place is. Light exists inside a person, inside the person, and he shines on the whole world. So you got to allow that light to shine on the whole world. You got to let that love and that kindness that's within you also be on the outside of you, right? You can't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing, because you got to do it naturally. You got to do it without thinking. You got to do it with instinct. This is how we're flowing, right? And it's always going to be this way. There is no left or right, because left or right is wrong. It's the middle way. Left or right, that means you're against the right. If you're on the right, then you're against the left. Either way, you're going to be against yourself. Right? And yes, of course, just like in Roman Roman history, Greek. I think it goes way back to Egyptians and stuff. That the medical sign, right, with the two snakes. Some traditions say we have two wolves. Some people, there probably somebody that says we have two different cats. You know, the angel and the devil on the shoulder. You let one shine, right? You strengthen the one that's going to shine, but you have two. That means you're representing the father and you're representing your stepdaddy, Satan. He made your flesh. Okay, he made the flesh. So I'm just saying, do your research and you'll hear it. Right? Elohim in the Genesis, when he said Elohim created man, Elohim is plural for gods. Either way, right? You got two sides here, and you can let either of them out at any time. That's free will. That's called free will, to make the choice to serve one of the two masters. Right? And one master isn't the master that you perceive as far as you thinking about a master in some slave time. No. He's not that type of man. This is like your father. This is like, I respect you. I understand exactly what you're saying to me. I understand you created me for life, and you created me and brought me into this life of death now, or you should just say they brought me into this death cycle only to shine, only to bring that light out, to say that, you know what, enough is enough, to say, you know what, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. Right? But only together can we ever get out of it. Only together. And then when you're together, all those others that are on the outside of you, they're just going to look like the bully that's a fool. Right? If everyone stands up in the school against the bully picking on a kid, guess what? That bully's going to feel like the fool. He's going to be driven away. He's not going to have a place there. Right? And no one has to throw a punch at him, because all you got to do is stand. Right? It's like, not to bring that. No, not that. It's just, right? Just like in a situation, school shooting or something like that. Fight, run, hide, right? That's the jingle that goes with it. Which one are you? Are you going to be the one that runs? Are you going to be the one that hides? Right? He only has so many bullets, so to speak. And yes, your life is, listen, life on this side of death isn't as important as you think it is. It's just perceived that way for you to be controlled by the things that control us. Right? They only want you to think about death in the sense of you can't pay your rent and you lost your, whatever the case is. That's death too, because that could take your whole equation out of it, your whole self out of it. All right, so that's number 25. Jesus says, love your brother like your life. Protect him like the apple of your eye. That's self-explanatory. Number 26, Jesus says, you see the splinter that is in your brother's eye, but you do not see the beam that is in your own eye. When you remove the beam from your own eye, then you will see clearly enough to remove the splinter from your brother's eye. Right? So that's like any video you watch, a video of me. It's like, I'm not saying that you have a stick in your eye. That's definitely not what I'm saying, because I know I have that beam in my eye. But I'm removing that beam, right? And as I remove that beam, I'm seeing truth for what truth is, because truth needs no recognition. It stands alone. And within that truth, I can see another brother or sister that may be like, you know, gay ain't the way, and holding a sign that says God hates this one and God hates that one. That's not the way. Right. But before I could tell them about that splinter in their eye, I got to get it out of my eye. So what does that mean? That means I can't judge anybody else either, even if I agree with that aspect of it. Right. Like, I can't say God hates the Muslim or God hates the Buddhist or God hates everyone else but his people he chose. That makes no sense. Think about that. But that you know, when you don't give that enemy, when you're a Christian and your enemy is the Muslim, and you're ready to debate them and tell them that their religion is wrong, or even the Muslim telling the Christian their religion is wrong, that's the wrong. So now if you're witnessing it, you're seeing two people that are telling each other about these splinters in their eye, not recognizing their splinter in their own damn eye. They're not looking in the mirror. They're not manning in the mirror like Michael Jackson. That's definitely not happening. All right. So now number 27, if you do not abstain from the world, you will not find the kingdom. That's not truth. especially when you know what the world is. You got to understand what the world is. The world is us. The world is the people. The world is the systems. The world is the governments. The world is the countries. The world is the laws. The world is the new fashion. The world is the most popular item. The world is plastic surgery. The world will let you die if you don't have enough to get that operation. The world, when you're on death row and go to commit suicide, they will bring you back to life just to electrocute you. That's the world, right? They're looking at that tax dollar. If the dude just commits suicide, there's no money to be made to pull the lever. I'm looking into how much it costs just to pull the lever. I know hopefully a lot of people are getting rid of that system, but I'm going to find out how much it just costs to pull the lever or do the ejection, whatever the case is, how much it costs. Even how much it costs to hang a motherfucker, because I want to know that too. Like, are they charging like $20,000 just to like hang somebody with a rope that you may have found right there? Oh my God. But that's the world. That's the world. The world is $38,000 a year to take care of a person in prison, but you got this little kid out on the street starving to death. Or even this little kid in another country starving to death. We're all one world shared. Period. Okay. And the same 27. All right, I'll read it again. If you do not abstain from the world, you will not find the kingdom. If you do not make the Sabbath into a Sabbath, you will not see the Father. So that, just resting, I guess, right? You got to rest. You could do all the work, but then there got to be a time you just enjoy, soak it up. Look at the work that you've done. Sit back. Let other people talk, right? I love when other people talk. I hate talking sometimes. And then sometimes I find myself talking because nobody else is talking. Crazy. Number 28, Jesus said, I stood in the middle of the world, and in flesh I appeared to them. I found all of them drunk. None of them did I find thirsty. And my soul ached for the children of humanity, because they are blind in their heart and they cannot see, for they came into the world empty. They also seek to depart. They also seek to depart from the world empty. But now they are drunk. When they shake off their wine, then they will change their mind. Right. So we're that's saying that you're just drunk with all the fast. It's almost like being a little kid and seeing something shiny. You're like, I want that. Right. Or why, that's why you watch Disney, Nickelodeon, any kid channel. They got mad toy commercials, mad new, buy this. And your kid is like, me, mine, what? Right. And they got you drunk. They got you drunk on, the person that hit the Mega Millions drunk. Oh, I'm so drunk, and not even looking at the rest of the world. Right. And you got, CEOs and big ass companies with like 20,000 employees on the lower level, and they're only making $10 an hour. Like, come on, man. Come on. You're just drunk in your own selfishness, and you're just letting everybody else just go by you, and you're not even recognizing what the kingdom is. Number 29. In the flesh came into being because of the spirit. It is a wonder. But if the spirit came into being because of the body, it is a wonder of wonders. Yet I marvel at how this great wealth has taken up residence in poverty. Okay. In the flesh came into being. If the flesh came into being because of the spirit, it is a wonder. Okay. But if the spirit came into being because of the body, it's a wonder of wonders. In the Nag Hammadi Texas, it explains it that way. I told you either last video before that about Yalabra and how he was Satan and he made the clay man, right? Him and his boys made the clay, the seeds that tried to imitate what they saw shoot from the top heaven, and they tried to imitate it, but they couldn't make it move. And then God or the Father inserted a spirit, and then the thing moved. Okay, so and then yet I marvel at how this great wealth has taken up residence in this poverty. So that great wealth that gave us movement, gave us action, gave us the chance to go beyond, right? We're stuck in this poverty level now. Oh my God, because I don't have enough money, I can't get there. Right? Some churches are probably out there talking about, hey guys, we got to do this and this because we can't get there, instead of even praying. Right? The Father he says, I'm going to provide. If you do anything for my name's sake, I'm there for you. I'm gonna be there. Who's really saying the name? And see, that should make people question it too. All right, you're saying you believe in this one. You're trying to tell me this is the way, but yet you're not doing anything of the one that you're saying did. But yet his closest boys did. And you're preaching me that too. But you're not preaching me anything else other than that from that point. So what that mean? That means somewhere in the midst, it got lost in translation. Literally, most likely. Number 30, Jesus says, where there are three gods, they are gods. Where there are two or one, I am with him. Where there are three gods, there are gods. Where there are two or one, I am with him. So now if you know in the scripture, right, in I can't remember, I could probably Google it, but I can't remember right now. But in the scripture, Jesus does say that. He says, once I leave you, when there's two, what is it? What's it? Two or one. So he said, when there's two or one of you there, I will be with you also. Right? But when there's three gods, they are gods. Right? That's deep. Figure that one out. I'm not even going to break that down. That's deep right there. Number 31, Jesus says, no prophet is accepted in his own village. A physician does not heal those who know him. That's more of a reference. I'm just laughing because of the physician part. But that's more of a reference to when he went home, right? When he went to Bethlehem. He went in the land of Nazareth and they accepted him not. He went to the land of Samaria. He didn't even have to do a miracle, and they believed every word he said. They drank from that water of life. He goes home. Hey, isn't that just the carpenter's son? What is he talking about? And he could do no miracle there. And it's almost like a physician. Physicians can't, like, I think legally they can't work on anybody they're related to, right? I guess they could work on people they know. Because I worked for a surgeon, so I know. 32, Jesus says, a city built upon a high mountain and fortified cannot fall, nor can it be hidden. That's just like an art of war type of statement right there. Jesus says, number 33, what you will hear with your ear, with the other ear proclaim from your rooftops. For no one lights a lamp and puts it under a bushel, nor does he put it in a hidden place. Rather, he puts it on a lampstand, so that everyone who comes in and goes out will see its light. Right? That's the same thing as letting the light shine from within you. It's the same thing, right? Just you don't light a candle and put it under your bed to light your room, right? You put the light in a place that illuminates the area so everyone can come and go and see where they're going, right? And that's how we're supposed to be as just children of the Creator. For everyone, we're supposed to be that light. We're supposed to say, hey man, you know what? I see you're having a bad time. I see you're down. I'm gonna help you up. That's our whole purpose in life. And until we figure that out, as each and every one of us in the world, we're gonna be stuck in this situation. And most of the people that believe in the Christian teachings and he's coming back on a cloud, listen, it's gonna end. It is gonna end. But he ain't coming in. It's a spirit, right? You got to translate that word cloud. They change it all the time. Even now, you Google something from the Bible, it shows you now it's a new age thing. Now it's newer. Now it's like different lingo going on. I'd rather have the King James with 1,000 shouts because that'll be better. All right. Number 34, Jesus says, if a blind person leads a blind person, both will fall into a pit. Almost like the reference to sheep, right? If a sheep looks at another sheep and they're going on their flock and one falls over the hill, they're all falling over the hill. Number 35, and that's what we're doing in society. It's just the blind leaving the blind. We're saying, it's like me in security at the places that I work. It's policy, right? Knowing there's probably something I could do. Knowing there's something I could wiggle room and I'll probably make their day. I used to roll like that anyway, but you would get in trouble for doing that. It's almost like a cop. When you start writing a ticket, you have to write the ticket. It's that concept, right? That's a real rule. Once they start the process, it has to go. Right? Yeah, they can dispute it, they can throw it away, but then they'll get in trouble and get fired. So see, they're training you and forcing you to enforce something that is not perfect. I tell you, like, I'm pretty sure like 20, 25 years ago, there was a guy either in Manhattan or somewhere where there was bad tickets getting written for parking. and there was the parking meters. He was feeding the meters and got locked up for feeding those meters because his car, that wasn't his cars. And he was taking the town's money away. But that's supposed to be unaccountable money, like money that doesn't exist, money that's only right. So if everyone starts parking right, this is the world. I'm about to break it down just in a parking situation. If everyone is parking right and following the rules, where's their money? And then like when that happens, oh my God, there's like 80,000 people about to lose their jobs, the parking meters, there's nowhere else to give tickets, and they're going to come up with another thing. Just like I live in New Jersey, and I tell you 25 years ago, there was major hospitals closing down in New Jersey, and now New Jersey is the top in a lot of things: cancer, autism, Asperger's, ADHD. They're top. Why? No one, come on, man, you don't listen. Just like, look, with coronavirus, they didn't even fill all those beds of them temporary damn things they made. But eventually there came a point where they probably did. Why? Because they kept pushing it. Those numbers are so fudged. How you going to have the CDC and all those? I think there's 3 top organizations in the disease control thing, and they all have different numbers of how many deaths and how many. Come on, man. That's why I say the truth is this. There's people that know the truth. And those are the ones that are almost sinning against the Holy Spirit, so to speak, sinning against the inner spirit of love and life. And they know exactly what's going on. It's just like the drug dealer that realizes that their drug is killing people. If you keep on pursuing selling that drug, then you're getting that wrath coming back to you. Karma status is going to come back to you until you get it, until you wake up and realize, you know what? Right. And if you are that type of person where you're selling drugs and like it just didn't get to, I know you got rumors that this one OD'd on that or that one got put in the hospital on that, especially when it comes to heroin and stuff, because that shit is deep, or anything now because they're putting that ethanol on everything. So no matter what, you're putting someone's freaking life at risk all the way up the chain, from the people that got paid off to get the drugs to wherever it's got to go for wherever. Someone knows, and they're allowing it to happen. They're keeping it going. Oh, this is the way things are. This is how else am I supposed to make money? Come on, are you serious? That money is the issue. Stop looking at how I'm supposed to make more money. Look at how we're supposed to produce more food for everyone to eat. A place with all these abandoned lands and all these people buying, like Bill Gates right now buying up mad land. Look into that, right? It's going to be a point where you're not even going to be able to go nowhere because they own it. And if they own it, then you got to have that market of beast, so to speak, that mental mind state that they want you to be on to be where they want you to be. And if you don't, then you're just going to be lost in the wilderness and dying. That's what they're going to tell you. But you know what? There's going to be people like me out there. If I live that long, there'll be people out there like me. Find me, because I'm going to help you out. Find me. I'm going to be somewhere where we all is going to survive. Trust and believe that. And I'm not talking about survive the father, so like when the end comes, the end comes. But all the tribulations, like it's coming. You can see it. All you got to do is open your eyes. The trials and tribulations are coming, right? There's people out there that want the end of the world. And they don't want it in a bad way, almost like the Avengers Endgame and stuff, right? Thanos he actually had good intent. He wanted to help the people. He just felt everything was overpopulated. So he wanted to make a less population so everyone could enjoy and have enough and be plentiful. But that wasn't the solution to the problem. You can't just kill off half the people and then leave the other half and think everything's going to be great, right? And he figured that out in the part 2. Right? He said, you know what? I made a mistake. Once he figured out the plan and they were coming back to try to set things right, he caught his little daughter with the computer brain and he said, hey, you know what? I messed up the first time. Now no one gets to stay, or no one gets to remember, at least. Right? I think he was going to erase everybody's memory. Why? Because you can't put new wine in old wineskins. The old ways are still going to progress. Right? And his concept was that they figured it out how to come back and fix everything. That was his problem. Right. But he had good intent. He wanted people to live. He wanted people to live in a prosperous situation. But his solution to that was that we got to kill half the population to do it. And that don't make sense. That is insane. If you're saying that the president, the scientists, the educators, like this, like the movies, like it's a typical movie of end time movie. Right? No matter what's asteroid, aliens, no matter what. And there's always mankind that's making a section, oh, we can't save everyone. right? And then they kind of bring the Jesus sitting on the cross part and says, hey, he died for everyone's sin. You should die too for everyone's sin. There's actually a story in the Christian world where there's this, a parent trying to explain Jesus to his child. And he says, oh, it's like this child has the cure for everyone, but he has to lose his life so they could draw the blood to make the cure for everyone. Is that what Jesus taught? Is that what Jesus said? No, absolutely not. And if he did, then why would he heal the ones? Why would he resurrect them? Why would he do any of those things? For not? For nothing? Hey, we're just gonna. Is it like watching Impractical Jokers? Not Impractical. That ain't magic. But like that new show with the 4 jokers on it that do magic. Like, come on, please. Like, sooner or later we gotta wake up. You know what? And if you're waking up, tell somebody else. Help them understand, right? And there's still stuff I don't understand. So there's people that reach out to me all the time and explain certain things to me, tell me to read this book, check this book out. That's how I got into all of this in the first place. I don't know if he's watching right now, but one of my friends, we fellowship all the time. We can't help but to fellowship. He sends me scriptures. Like, I don't send that many scriptures. I'm not a texter like that. But he sends me scriptures. I send something back at him. I'm always telling him I love him. Be blessed. He's always encouraging me, right? There was one point a few years ago, we were talking about the books of Enoch and stuff like that. And, I've read them, but sometimes when you read stuff, it doesn't really hold on to you because sometimes it's just like put in a way that's almost confused. It's almost like really thinking about God of love and the God in Exodus, right? This God of love in Exodus took out the firstborn children, right? Granted, in the story, it does say the people that he did take away are in a special place with him. But either way, right? But even the Father still allows that. So the top of the top still allows that. Why? Because it's a test. It's not a test for nothing. It's a test to get through this mind state of thinking you're worse off or better off than anybody else. And really sit down and say, are we a people group? Like, as far as, are we human? Are we the humankind? Are we mankind? Because that's a phrase used for all of us. Right? Are we people? Are we the eyes of the world? Are we the me's of the world? Are we the you's of the world? Are we the us's of the world? Are we the we's? Come on. We gotta really wake up. All right, where was I? The blind person. All right, Jesus says, I think I read this one. Oh no, I did. Number 35, Jesus says, if it is not possible for someone to enter the house of a strong person and take it by force unless he binds his hands, then he will loot his house, right? So what does that mean? That means if the devil knows you're strong, he's going to find a way to make you weak, like in the story of Samson, right? You remember he had the long hair and he was the fighter for Israel and he was tearing up the Philistines and stuff, and he was going. And then the Philistines was like, we got to get up in this dude. And then they had this girl come and flirt with him and talk to him. And then she kept asking about what's your strength? How do you do it? And then he kept making up jokes at first, like, oh, this is it. And then she would do something. And then it wouldn't work. And then, oh, if you were to tie my hands behind my back. And then they did that and that didn't work. But then all of a sudden he fell victim. He said, you know what? My hair. That's where the strength is. They shaved his damn head. And then what is he? He's just chained up in the main auditorium of these kings now. Right? And then he asked for one last wish. God, just give me the strength to take this building down. And he took it down. But that's what that means. That means how are you going to come into a strong man's house and bind him up? You can't. You can't. There's no way. You got to trick him or something. You got to get him off his game. You got to find out his strength and make it a weakness. Come on, that's the devil's game. That's the devil's game. But we're that devil, the people, the world. Number 36, Jesus says, do not worry from morning to evening and from evening to morning about what you will wear. Right? That's just don't stress. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about why. Just go with the flow, my friends. Just live life. Just go with the flow. Just go. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong to look nice or pretty or you dress up. What do you? Just don't take it to the level where it's affecting other people's lives, so to speak. Right? Just, just don't worry about nothing. Right? The birds of the air don't worry. The animals of the sea don't worry. Nobody worries but us people, unless you got a pet, and that they might be stressed out, because there are some pets that get stressed out. Number 37, his disciples said, when will you appear to us? And when will we see you? Jesus said, when you undress without being ashamed and take your clothes and put them under your feet like little children and trample on them, then you will see the Son of the Living One and you will not be afraid. That is deep. This is how deep that is. How many of you like being naked? That's as deep it is. Right? But when you get that confidence just to walk around butt ass naked, you'll see the living one. What does that mean? When you're so, in high school, people used to pull down people's pants and stuff, right? And the person that got their pants pulled down was embarrassed. Embarrassment is an evil entity, so to speak. But there's positive and negative. There's a negative side of it and there's a positive side of it. But when you're embarrassed because of what other people think, right? This is what Jesus is saying. When you're looking for that recognition from everyone else, you will get that reward and love it. Keep it. But that's the limit to your reward. But when you're doing that stuff in secret, not seeking that reward, not seeking that recognition from the outside world to say, oh my God, you did a good job. Just look for the Father to say you did a good job. And you'll know that by the blessings in your life. I promise you. I promise you. You show that love is coming back. And keep it quiet. Just keep it quiet. Just do stuff just to do it, man. And I'm telling you, it's coming back, and it's coming back so heavy, you won't even know what to do with it. That's how deep that is. Just on the naked. You can't care what other people think. I don't care. I wear the same thing every day. Every day. Or most likely the same colors. But most of the time, the same sweatpants, the same outfit. People probably think I'm crazy when I go to the stores and stuff around here because I'm always in the same stuff. I don't care. I'm me. Right? Lately, I haven't even been shaving, so that's how much I don't care. I'm just me. I'm living for the Father, right? That's all I can do. That's all I can do, right? I'm at the end of my rope, so to speak. Right? I'm done with life. I'm done not with life as far as the Father's concerned, but I'm done with the world. I'm done. Like this, enough is enough right now. Right? Just back to the movies with the end times, right? Who these dudes that are educated, like in the movie 2012, right? They had the arcs and all these scientists and stuff and all the art. Oh, we got to take Mona Lisa with us. That's crazy. All this stuff is coming on the arc, right? And I understand it's a thing of history, but the Mona Lisa is a good key. When was it made? Right? And then go from that point from when it was made to when it was 2012, and that's the history you want to bring? That's the things we're proud of? When there's only turmoil and everything else around and all of that? You know what I mean? Hidden messages in most of these paintings like that? Come on, man. What were the artists trying to tell us? Especially Da Vinci and a few of them, boy. Listen, what were they trying to tell us? No one's paying attention. But they try to hide it because the truth is always out there. They just try to mask it all the time. They can't stop it. It keeps flowing. That's why there's atheist movies that'll strengthen your faith. Straight up. They don't even know what they're saying. That's the point. They're just going off this inspiration, and we don't want to see too much. But God will put that muffle over your ear, right? Jesus walked away from a lot of situations. When he hung on that cross, wasn't the first time they tried to kill him. They tried to kill him a few times. They picked up stones to stone him to death. A few times. And God just made him vanish in their eyes. Where'd he go? I don't even know. Right? That's why Judas had to kiss him. Because no one knew who Jesus was at that time. Because, I just told this to someone today. And you know why that is? Because in Jesus' day, with his disciples, not just his 12, he had more than 12 disciples. Like, that's what a lot of people don't comprehend. He had more than 12 disciples. Like close ones to him, right? The 12 was the first ones that got called up and they started walking together. But then he grew pretty greatly, especially when John the Baptist died and he got some of his boys and people that were there's some Jews that started converting into what Jesus was talking about. Jesus had disciples. He sent out 72 of them to heal people and push out demons and resurrect people. Like he did this. Okay, and they came back with joy seeing what they have done because they did exactly what he said. And they all left with swords too and never had to pull up their sword. They went with confidence. They went with probably some pushback and they never picked up the sword to handle their pushback. They just kept it moving. Dust my feet off. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know y'all wasn't interested in keep it moving. Period. Turn the other cheek. Right? I'm saying, man, there's so much truth in that. It's not funny. That's why there's so much stuff surrounding it trying to keep you from that truth. Okay. Did that what you were wearing? Did the naked one? Number 38. Jesus says, many times have you desired to hear these words, these that I am speaking to you, and you have no one else from whom to hear them. There will be days when you will seek me and you will not find me. And I guess that's him just saying that he's about to go. Pretty much. And then you fall off, right? When Peter denied him 3 times, did he not fall off? That's the moment. Peter, he said he didn't find them because you're denying me. Number 39, Jesus says, the Pharisees and the scribes have received the keys of knowledge, but they have hidden them. Neither have they entered, nor have they allowed to enter those who wish to. Hey, in the Bible it says it, right? A poor person to come with this dove with some brown spot, that's not good enough. You need to buy one of ours. Then they take that brown dove and sell them this pure white dove that probably was spray painted in the back, and then they go and sacrifice that one and collect money on it. The sacrifice is supposed to be, they're supposed to help the person sacrifice, but yet they're making money off the sacrifice. Why do you make my house into a den of thieves? Oh, and neither have they entered, nor have they allowed to enter those who wish to. You, however, be as shrewd as serpents and as innocent as doves. I'll let you figure that one out. The serpent thing is key. Number 40, Jesus says, a grapevine was planted outside the vineyard of the Father, and since it is not supported, it will be pulled up by its roots and will perish. That's almost in the same sense of where the master came and spread his seeds, and he spread some fell on rocks, some fell on good land, some fell on the sand. That's reference to that. And like people say they're rooted into the Father, but then they claim Christianity is the best religion or the only religion. How can that even be true if Jesus was a Jew and the Jews are the chosen people of God? Then everyone should convert the Jew based upon the instructions and the rules of that book. It's not the rules of Jesus, though. So catch what I'm saying. Only the rules of the book, not rules of Jesus. The rules of the book, you should convert to be a Jew. Or Jews should be converting people anyway. That's the one true religion, right? That's the one true God they're following. Come on. Maybe the one true God of this world. Number 41, Jesus says, whoever has something in his hand, something more will be given to him. And whoever has nothing, even the little he has will be taken from him. So that's just in the same respect of if you're not loving the other person, then sooner or later it's going to come back to get you. You're going to sabotage yourself sooner or later, right? Live by the sword, die by the sword. You want to live that way? That's the way you're going to fall, right? Rome was up and then it was down. And it lost everything almost to the salt. They wanted salt. They wanted all the salt. So they bought the salt from India. And they gave India all their gold. So shit happens, I guess. You know what? We're going to go to 50. We'll go to 50. Where was I just at? Oh, the grapevine. No, I wasn't. Number 42, Jesus says, become passersby. Okay. Become passersby. So just pass by it. You see the world going through turmoil? Bring those that hear you and those that see you and they see you for your light. Let them know. Let them know the good news and just keep walking. Let them know the good news and just keep walking. Don't worry about the people that's going to talk to you or naysay you. Just become that passerby. All right? You're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. Why do you think Jesus said that? Rumors of wars. Number 43, his disciples said to him, who are you to say this to us? Do you not realize from what I say to you who I am? But you have become like the Jews. They love the tree. They hate its fruit. Or they love the fruit. They hate the tree. Number 44, Jesus says, whoever blasphemes against the Father, it will be forgiven him. And whoever blasphemes against the Son, it will be forgiven him. But whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit, it will not be forgiven him, neither on earth nor in heaven. What is that Holy Spirit? That Holy Spirit is love. Love of the creator of life and love for the life that we all share. And when that Holy Spirit is in conflict with what your decision is about to be, there you go. Right? It's all about the support, encouragement, the love for life. So you support that life you think is down below you and you bring them up to your level. Right? And then you meet those that think they're holier than thou and you bring them to your level if they're willing to listen. If they're not willing to listen, dust your feet off and walk away. It's as simple as that. All right, listen, I'm not trying to force you to believe anything. Do you? But in your own scripture, it says this. It's just like when they went to stone Jesus, and because when they went to stone Jesus, so there was a party. He said, hey, they picked up stones to stone him. Jesus said, why do you pick up stones to stone me? And they said, it's not because you healed the blind. It's not because you healed the lepers. It's not because you raised them from the dead. It's not because you fed people out of nothing. It's because you say you're one with the Father. That's why we're stoning you to death. That's blasphemy, right? But it just said right there, whoever blasphemes against the Father will be forgiven. So even if Jesus was blaspheming, right? And then Jesus' response to them was, well, doesn't it say in your Psalms, and it's our Psalm, our understanding number 82, yea, are gods, yea, are the children of the Father, yea, are the children of the Most High? Come on. People ain't telling the right stuff. Number 45. Jesus says, grapes are not harvested from thorns, nor are figs pickled from thistles, for they do not produce fruit. A good person brings forth good from his treasure. A bad person brings forth evil from the bad treasure. Here we go with the two different things inside you. Bad wolf, good wolf, angel, devil, snake. Here we go. And for out of the abundance of the heart, he brings forth evil. So I'm going to read it again. Or no, we'll go right to the beginning. Grapes are not harvested from thorns, nor are figs picked from thistles, for they do not produce fruit. A good person brings forth good from his treasure. What's your treasure? Your treasure is your life. A bad person brings forth evil from the bad treasure that is in his heart. And in fact, he speaks evil. For out of the abundance of the heart, he brings forth evil. Number 46, Jesus says, for Adam to John the Baptist, among those born of women, there is no one who surpasses John the Baptist, so that his eyes need not be downcast. But I have also said, whoever among you becomes little will know the kingdom and will surpass John. See, John the Baptist had a problem, and that might be for another video. Or even look into Global Witness, because he breaks it down in a good, understanding way. But John the Baptist, I guess you could say, wasn't who you thought he was in essence. That's why he came and said, he sent his friend or his boys to Jesus saying, are you him or not? Are you the one that they said is coming or not? This is John the Baptist, with the one that pronounced him to be coming, right? And he sent his boys to Jesus and say, hey, are you him or not? Are you him or not? And then Jesus sent him back, his boys back, and said, listen, his people aren't healed? Do the blind not see? Is the deaf not raised? But John still had the question if Jesus was him or not, right? Because they were looking for a different person. They were looking for someone to come back and conquer Rome. They were looking for to put them in the position that Rome was in. That's all it was. Number 47, Jesus says, it is impossible for a person to mount two horses and to stretch two bows. And it is impossible for a servant to serve two masters, else he will honor the one and insult the other. No person drinks old wine and immediately desires to drink new wine. And new wine is not put into old wineskins so that they do not burst, nor is old wine put into a new wineskin so that it does not spoil it. And old patch is not sewn onto a new garment because a tear will result. Do you get that? That's a deep, simple one, right? It is not possible for a person to mount two horses and to stretch two bows. What that means is this. If there's a person with 5 houses, all right, we'll do more realistic. If there's a person with 2 houses, he can't live in both houses. Right? So unless he's helping out a family member or he's got his family there another family there full time, he's wasting away space. In essence, there's a homeless person out there that doesn't have a home, but yet this dude stays at this house 2 weeks a year. That's what it means. So what are you really collecting on? Right? Not saying it's wrong. We're in the world we live in. I'm not saying that you're a bad person if you own 2, 3, 4 houses and they're empty most of its life. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's wrong for that. I'm just saying you can look at it in a different way. Right? And I'm pretty sure and everyone has somebody messed up in their family. You can help someone out, my dude. That's all I'm saying. People don't have to be paying all these mortgages. Like I say it all the time. People wasn't buying properties and land and houses to sell them again. Not that there wasn't people doing it, but that wasn't the prime objective. The prime objective was to have somewhere for your descendants and everyone that comes before you to go. Right? That's the whole Jewish story. They were Jerusalem. Come on, they're trying to get to their land so they can grow. And it is impossible for a servant to serve 2 masters. Right? So you can't say, I'm all about the money. I'm all about the Benjamins. What you're saying is you'll do anything for those Benjamins. No matter what it takes. You'll kill, rob, steal, finagle, skim, whatever. But if you work for the master of life, all you can do is produce life. All your love is going to show is life and the respect you have for it. And all of it, not just this portion. Or it's got to be a whole. 3 Stooges status, one for all for one, because that's the only way we get it done. No person, else he will honor the one and insult the other. No person drinks old wine and immediately desires to drink new wine. And no new wine is put. That's just saying you got to die to the world. That's what it's saying. That's exactly what it's saying. Right? You can't think old ways like in the Avengers. What Thanos was thinking, I got to get rid of the people that I left behind because they remembered and tried to bring it back. But we got to put new wine into new wineskins. Old wine and new wineskins are just going to spoil the skin because it's already, all that stuff that it does, the wine, right? It's going to fermentate and stuff like that. New wine, you put the new wine in the new skin, it's going to grow together. It's going to grow together in like-mindedness, opposed to the old wine being in a new wineskin. It's going to conflict. It's going to conflict. Right? It's like you can't show an old dog new tricks, but the old dog needs to forget those old tricks because they're set in ways that aren't just. In essence, like you think you're doing right, but you're in essence doing wrong because you're alienating someone. You're separating yourself from everybody else. Something along those lines. That's the problem. In Adam and Eve, when they were in the garden, it was about separation. As soon as they stood there and knew they were naked, they were embarrassed to be naked. They ran for the fig leaves to cover themselves. Think about that. So did God disappear from them or did they disappear from God? Or the Father, I should say, because they didn't disappear from the God in the garden. They disappeared from the Father. They further and further away. They kept growing further and further away. But then trying so hard to get back with the traditions and trying to do systematic things. That's not what the Father wanted. Just like I proved to you, the God of that Bible did not want a government. He didn't want his people ran by other people because he knew what people would do. Because you would do it. I would. Who knows? At a certain mind state in your life, throughout your life's progression, up until the age you are now, there could have been an immature you. Right? There could have been a you that went to your little brother or sister like, give me that. That's mine. And I'm taking it. Right? Being a little bully or something. Like that could have been you. And you could have got that authority over everyone. And the next thing, give me that. No, you're going to do what I say. Right? The whole Braveheart movie, right? The whole what the hell ever they were, the Congress mayors of the little areas and stuff, and they had the right to have sex with the new wife. What the fuck? Before the husband could even? Like, are you serious? This is crazy. And this is what we, oh, yes, sir. I will pay your taxes. Hell no. You ain't. Listen, kill me. Kill me. You can take my life, but you sure as hell won't take my freedom. Period. If you can't, and then look, Joshua in the Bible, right? The guy that took over after Moses. There was a point. He came to the tribe of Israel, all the tribes. And he said, you know what? You do what you do. You want to go put up some other false gods and idol worship over here and stuff like, do you? But me and my family, we're going to go the ways of the Father. He separated himself. There's a lot of separation in the story that people aren't catching on to, but yet you want to say, oh, those are the people that God chose. Now, yes, he chose them for some type of purpose, but they're not the chosen people in the perception that we perceive it to be. Right? They spit in God's face from them, and I'll debate anyone. That's key. I'll debate a scientist, a Christian guy. I'll debate anyone, and I guarantee you they can have all the degrees, scholarships, doctrines, the Peace Prize. I don't care what they have. I'm going to give them a good fight. Okay, I'm going to give him a good fight. I'll go out with the most declarated debater in the world, and I'll give him a good fight. Why? Because I know his BS already. I know it already. I know where he's coming from. I know the angle he's going to come to, and I'm going to prove to him that his angle is against some part of life. Right? Evolution is that, and that's the general idea of it. Only the strong survive. So that means there's got to be a strong. So if there's a strong, that means there got to be a weak. And if there's a weak, that means the strong has authority over the weak. In evolution, racism comes from evolution. Darwin was racist. He saw these Abernesian people and said they were lower than him. Living the free life. They're lower than him. Living the free life. Why ain't go there and say, I tried to be a doctor, but I couldn't take the surgery, so I threw up. Look at his autobiography. I read all about him. Look at his autobiography. He did a lot of messed up stuff. He lost a lot of people in his life, kids. His wife got sick. There was a lot of evil that he was producing in his own damn life because of the things that he was going and seeking for. Right. And granted, he had some bad times in his life before he came out with this evolution thing. And maybe he didn't believe in God. Like, I don't think Hawking dude believes in God. That's why he's in a wheelchair. Or more importantly, I think he does, but he just won't admit it because he don't want nobody else to go in either. Right? He has the keys. This is one of the smartest dudes in the world, right? He puts all this he knows, right? But yet he got a key and he's not going in either, right? Because there's no money in it for him. There's no profit. There's no recognition from the world. Oh my God, he's such a great guy. He's the brightest man in the world. We're gonna make a statue when he dies right here. Come on, man. That's what you want? You want a statue? Hopefully God lets you stay the statue too. Hopefully your father will be like, you know what? You wanted to be a statue or your life? Be a statue. Be a statue. Be a statue. Boop, boop, boop. And then the old patches, right? You can't patch. If you go to sew in a patch to a new garment, obviously it's going to tear after that point, right? It's only once it's torn, then you put in the patch and then it's going to hold it together. That's like some of the truth is awesome. Jesus says, if two make peace with one another, in one and the same house, then they will say to the mountain, move away, and it will move away. Power in numbers. The more people believe, you can move a mountain on both sides of the spectrum, in the negative way and in the positive way. Wars are fought, right? That's people coming together in a like-minded state to pursue a like-minded thing, but it's not for the good, but they think they're doing good. But God said thou shalt not kill, but let's go kill him anyway. Number 49, Jesus says, blessed are the solitary ones, the elect, for you will find the kingdom. For you come from it and will return to it. So blessed are the solitary one. Blessed are those that feel alone. Blessed are those that think, everyone's putting down. No, you're not looking at it the right way. Your mind is distorted on the view. Yeah, hold strong to what's inside of you. Hold strong to you. Okay? And nothing could ever go wrong if you just be who you are. Stand strong in truth. And no one can steal anything from you. Never, right? And at that point where they're taking it from you, you're going to say the same thing Jesus said. You're not taking it. I'm giving it over willing. You're going to say the same thing Mel Gibson said in Braveheart. You can take my life, but you can't take my freedom. You're going to say the same thing that the three dudes said in the book of Daniel with Nebuchadnezzar. If you throw me in the furnace, the Father's going to deliver me either way. So throw away, because I'm not worshiping your rules, your government, your statue. I'm not bowed down and worshiping anything. They didn't even bow down and worship their food. They didn't even eat their food. That's how you got to stand tall. Got to stand tall. Put a stand to it. You're that power, but only collectively, together. Right? Martin Luther King's movement was awesome, but it died with him, and that's the truth. They had all these other corrupt leaders come up, and it changed the game. Those leaders didn't care about their own life opposed to other life. Just like any other leader we got. You think there's a senator out there really give a fuck about you? Excuse the French, but it's true. That dude's making 6 figures a year, not worrying about health insurance, not worrying about unemployment running out, not worrying about a stimulus check. He is straight. But then the people he's supposed to be for the people for just wasting away. And we just, and the senators come and there's mad traffic and this, that. Come on, man. We put all this. They're so much better than us. They're so much more than us. They're so more relevant than us. They're going to survive the apocalypse while we're still just getting hit in the face with comments. Come on. Come on. You know what? Even if those comments come, I'm standing out chilling. Okay? I'm standing out chilling. Why? Because I know the Father's either going to deliver me and I'll be a miracle to the world in aspect to show the glory of his name, or he's going to take me out and I'm going to be doing the glory in his name where he is. As simple as that. Either way, I'm not going out where I'm going against. I'm not compromising is of the world. Right? When they say, you got to compromise in your relationship. You got to compromise at work. That's only saying you got to surrender to authority. That's what that's freaking saying. So if you're in a relationship, husband, wife, whatever the relationship is, right? And one person likes sushi and the other person is allergic to sushi, is it supposed to be a compromise that I'm going to eat the sushi? Is that the compromise? Because that's what it means, right? If somebody likes the orchestra and someone doesn't like the orchestra, the other person should go to the orchestra just to go with the person. No, find your own friend to go to the damn orchestra with. I don't like the orchestra. That's it. It's as simple. It's not hard. Right? And why would you want an out of the love aspect? Why would you want to force someone that's not going to enjoy themselves at something you want them to go to? Now, listen, one time, go. The first time, yes, okay, go. What's the, especially if you ain't never been there, right? Go. Sometimes what you hear on the radio or me see on TV as orchestra, you might go and see it face to face in the auditorium, you go, oh my God, this is amazing. It happens. I've been to some things that were like, oh, wow. Like what's that movie? The Bronx Tale. I can't remember the guy's name though. But the guy that wrote the movie, he did a play. I ended up going to one of these plays in Atlantic City, and I thought it was going to be like a whole bunch of people in the play. It was just him. So my first look at it, I'm like, hopefully what is this gonna be like? Right? It's only one guy. Man, that was the best show I've ever seen in my life. Promise you. Like this dude, it was like I was watching the it was like I was watching the freaking movie with this one guy just going in, like doing everything. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So you never know. All right, and we'll end it with number 50. Jesus says, if they say to you, where do you come from? Say to them, we have come from the light. The place where the light has come into being by itself, has established, and has appeared in their image. If they say to you, is it you? You say, we are his children, and we are the elect of the living Father. If they ask you, what is the sign of your Father among you? You say to them, It is movement and repose. Okay? Yeah, we'll end it there. So we'll just read that one more time. So number 50, Jesus said, if they say to you, where do you come from? Say to them, we have come from the light, the place where the light has come into being by itself, has established and has appeared in their image. If they say to you, is it you? We are his children, and we are the elect of the living Father. If they ask you, what is the sign of your Father among you? You say to them, it is my movement and my repose. It's me standing for the Father. It's me standing for life. It's me standing for love for everyone, even my enemies. So we'll leave with that. That's 50. So now we got 64 more to go. And we'll probably get that done in the next couple of days. I'm still working on a stupid video. It's only a 5-minute video too, so I give mad props to people that make videos because I'm putting together a video like just certain topics. So this first one that's coming out is going to be about the calendar and how it changed and some of the reasons why it changed. And like doing this research and stuff, you find out that a lot of Christianity had a lot to do with how our world is formed today. And that's crazy. Okay. But hopefully in the next few days, I'll have that up and running and going out there. I'm probably not going to talk on it. It's just going to be like, just visuals and then some reading. Well, some calendars is going to be on it. I'm trying to make those like 5 minutes. So I'm like, this one's going to be about the calendars and how they change. And, I'll probably do another one about how we know how deep the earth is, so to speak. And I'm going to bring up all that information. And it's more it's going to be called the Did You Know series. And it's more based upon things that you may not have known of. Right, you may not have known that March 25th used to be New Year's. Okay, then that's insane. So that's the kind of stuff I'm coming at you with that series. But I'm not going to talk on it. If the words move too fast when it goes, I'll even put this when I do it. But if just pause it and read it. It's not like it's only paragraphs from like the Encyclopedia Britannica and Wikipedia things. Just anything that you can find yourself. Is not something that you got to go to Harvard and get some books or something like they want you to think. Everything is accessible to all of us. So I guess that's that. Again, save that. So that's it, guys. I did pretty good on time today. Is there anything else? There was something that pissed me off with a pastor today, but it's all right. I'll talk about it another day. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So you know what? Hope you enjoyed the song in the beginning. Let me know how you felt about it. I'm gonna bring some more out there. Hopefully, we'll figure out a way to make it support some things or something. Or I don't even know. We'll see where it goes. But I just started TikTok. So I'm gonna be putting little short things on TikTok. What else? That's about it. So I love you guys. Thanks for you two that were watching. You're always with me. Thank you. You give me that energy, honestly. Like I do the live videos, hoping nobody really watches. Because I just like to do them live because I want you to see how I'm reacting to everything. I don't want there's no I'm not. That'd never be a video I make like some editing thing where I'll be talking. Maybe I can't say I wouldn't, but I need live stuff. I need you to know exactly what I'm talking about, when I'm talking about it, how I'm talking about it, what I'm reading from. You see how I am already. That's about it. Give me some feedback. Let's build. You know what I mean? Let's like and subscribe. I'm gonna start saying that. Like and subscribe. Because my friend he does have me. He subscribed, but he doesn't have the notification thing. So hopefully he's watching, or he'll watch sometime today. He just got a surgery. Yeah, yeah, that's it, I guess, like, be blessed. I love you guys. I'm here for you if you need anything. Talk to me. You need to send me a message. You need to know something. Let me know. You got information. Throw me some information. If there's anything that I may have said that is off, tell me that is off. Let me know. Let's have a good, honest debate about it. You know what I mean? I want to listen to everything you got to say, straight up. So, love you guys. Be safe. See you next time.